Hello and welcome back. I have something slightly different for you today, as yesterday I went down the M4 motorway to the town of Swindon in Wiltshire to visit the Great Western Brick Show. This was held on the 1st and 2nd of October in an amazing place called Steam, the museum of the Great Western Railway. The GWR had its headquarters and a major railway works in Swindon, and the exhibition is held in part of the works that has now been converted into a museum. It's an impressive show with lots of different types of LEGO displays held in different spaces around the museum. The Steam Museum looks fantastic with all sorts of impressive exhibits, and on the one hand is a really interesting location in itself, but on the other hand the LEGO show is so large that it has to be broken up into several different spaces to fit it all in. So in the smaller halls are some really interesting smaller static LEGO exhibits and builds. Then you get to the main exhibition hall, which is a very bustling display of many different sizes and themes of LEGO. I'm just going to give a short impression in this video of the size and variety of LEGO MOCs, dioramas and layouts at the exhibition. This exhibition is organised by Brickish, a recognised LEGO user group in the UK, and so congratulations are due to them for putting on such an impressive event. Unfortunately, I can't give credit to the individual exhibitors, but many thanks to them because there were some very impressive models and exhibits. So I'll start with some of the smaller models and displays. I always like to see a model representing a real building or location, and to achieve this in minifig scale is very impressive. So well done to Robert Clarkson for this great model of Rochdale Town Hall. Not just for the building itself and its imposing clock tower, but all the little details at ground level around the model. I loved this fun display of Muppet related dioramas using the Muppet series of collectible minifigs, including this laboratory scene with Beaker and Dr. Bunsen Honeydew. This scene, set in the classic Muppet Theatre, had lots of details of the rich decoration of the theatre, as well as all the Muppet characters, including, of course, the two irreverent old gentlemen, Waldorf and Statler, in their royal box, and they'd even used most of the other characters for the band. Very clever. There was a very large collection of big figs on display, with over 35 Brickish members collaborating and over 50 figures on display. These are, of course, much bigger than regular minifigures and are made out of regular LEGO pieces. Some even have articulation. I think the Tracy Brothers big figs were my favourites, and now I'm just waiting for the Thunderbirds models to the same scale.
This one on the Madrigal House.
I found the detail in this large mock of the Madrigal House from the Disney movie Encanto quite amazing. There is a LEGO set of this house, which the builder of this mock said had inspired her build, but this mock took the idea to the next level, and lots of people were commenting on the level of detail, the number of flowers and the intricacy of this impressive build. I also spent some time chatting with the Brickbods about their YouTube channel, and then about this diorama they had on display, which depicts the wreck of the Silent Mary on the seabed.
Have you got got this thing on your YouTube channel.
We do,
Yeah, I'll have
but
to.
not as much actually.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I do watch your channel, but I haven't.
I think
Seen much of this.
every time I do a city tour, I always like show it because it was his product. So I feel like I don't know enough about it to talk through it, but I will do a full. Well, because we're going to do a review of the show, aren't we? So.
Get him to do it.
The
Then.
ship is surrounded by a section of coral reef with some very imaginative use of LEGO elements, providing a really colourful backdrop to the grim spectre of the ship lying on its side with tattered sails.
Yeah, if you don't care about the minifigs,
There's a silly market for minifigs.
I trust you to put it back.
I am fairly confident at some point during the weekend the shark will fall down, crashing.
What does that say?
There were lots of other smaller displays and dioramas, far too many to show here, and it was great to see the imagination and creativity of the Brickish members on display in such abundance.
He fell down the stairs.
But that was just the smaller displays. When I moved on to the main hall, there was an even greater abundance of larger displays, kids' activities and railway layouts. Now I'll have a quick look at the railway layouts in the show. Given the location of the show, it was very appropriate that there were quite a few of these, and I could see that they used a variety of scales and types of track, including the old system with electrical track, the more recent types with battery-powered trains, and some that were obviously using the very nice-looking curves and point systems made by third-party manufacturers, extending the range of options for the LEGO train enthusiast. One very extensive display even represented part of the Swindon GWR works, in which the exhibition itself was actually taking place.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That one stops it at 3. This was different, guys. This side, look. And this side again. It's look.
It was great to see the recreation of a classic GWR branch line terminus to fiddle yard type of layout in minifig scale, with some very recognisable trains and prototypical buildings and scenery. And there was a large variety of locos and rolling stock to see on the layouts and in static display. It was almost enough to tempt me into starting a LEGO railway layout. There was also a display of LEGO-built robots, which could be remotely controlled, and at intervals throughout the day, these robots were challenged to battle each other in an arena. It was rather like the famous TV series of battling robots, but with robots made out of LEGO.
We've got Jamie here with White Knight, and we've got, I don't even know who that is.
In the battles, the robots could bash each other to pieces, flip the others out of the arena,
so, that
or
is
push them
Simon
into a
and
pit.
Second Revolution. So with all of these, I'm guessing these are all using slightly different power.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
So as you probably spotted, White Knight's pretty good at getting underneath people, which is very handy if the pit's open. The guys here can open the pit by bashing into the tyre at the back. So if anyone hits that, the pit will open, which is just hard to avoid. It might look nice and easy to drive round, but it isn't. Here we go, here we go. Oh! Oh my goodness. I was the winner, make some noise. Yeah, on the basis that you very nearly had the others in the pit, I'm going to give you that. Well done, Jamie.
Back in the main hall, there was a very large so-called Great Ball Contraption. This was made up of lots of different modules, and each one had a mechanism that continuously moved little balls through the mechanism and passed them into the next module. I don't know how many modules there were, but they were formed into a square, and each side must have been at least 10 feet long. And at the corners there were modules that successfully turned the flow through the corners. There was even a place where the little balls were raised up, taken across the top and down the other side, to form in effect a doorway into the area in the centre. I couldn't capture all the modules and their different ingenious ways of moving the little balls along, but you could sit and watch these fascinating mechanisms for a long time. There were plenty of other exhibits, and I can't cover them all, so here are some of the larger ones. It was great to finally meet Kaz and see her microscale city builds on display. She's so ingenious in the use of apparently random parts in creative ways to make a huge variety of sections of buildings, industrial areas and parks. And the city was attractively placed near a microscale waterfront with lots of other small details. You can see Kaz's videos on her YouTube channel Blockhead UK.
The one with the coloured glass on the sloping front?
This is just small scale LEGO.
Oh, right, okay.
Next to that was another large display depicting an epic sea battle between two sailing ships on a large area of sea containing islands and a fort with an amazing amount of detail everywhere you looked.
Sand red and sand purple, two good colours there. Sand blue, sand green, they're overrated.
There was a really interesting display of spaceship models in a sunny corner of the hall, with some interesting moving parts and control mechanisms, all controlled from an iPad. I was really pleased that I'd seen the Ark spaceship with its rotating ring of biospheres and lighting that highlighted the interiors and showed the propulsion drive at what I assume is the aft end of the ship. So that was my impression of the Great Western Brick Show. A big thank you to Brickish, the organisers and all the exhibitors for an amazing show. Thanks for watching. In my next video I hope to resume normal service in developing my MOCs and building my LEGO city. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you back again soon.